Genghis Khan. The very name conjures images of ruthless conquest, brutal warfare, and a relentless empire-building campaign that changed the course of history. As the founder of the largest contiguous empire in history, Genghis Khan remains an iconic figure. But who was the man behind the conquests? What dark secrets did he carry that have been hidden for centuries? Today, we dive deep into the untold story of Genghis Khan, the mastermind behind the Mongol Empire, to uncover the truths that history books seldom reveal. A ruthless rise to power. To understand Genghis Khan's rise, we must go back to his beginnings as Temujin, born into the Borjigin clan around 1162. Life on the steppes was brutal, and survival meant being ruthless. Temujin's childhood was marked by violence and betrayal. His father, poisoned by a rival clan, left him to lead his family at a young age. Soon after, his own tribe abandoned them, leaving Temujin and his family to struggle through the harsh winters alone. These early hardships shaped Temujin's view of the world. Trust was a rare commodity, and vengeance became his driving force. To reclaim his honor, Temujin would stop at nothing. One of his darkest decisions was the brutal treatment of Jamukha, his blood brother, who had betrayed him. After defeating Jamukha in battle, Temujin offered him a noble death by breaking his back, a fate considered an act of mercy by Mongol standards. But this act symbolized more than vengeance. It marked Temujin's transformation into Genghis Khan, the supreme leader of the Mongols. His thirst for power and willingness to sacrifice anyone, even those close to him, would become defining traits of his reign. The genocidal conquests. Once Genghis Khan unified the Mongol tribes, he turned his sights outward. His campaigns were marked by unprecedented destruction. One of the darkest chapters in his conquests was the annihilation of entire civilizations. In 1219, Genghis Khan launched his campaign against the Khwarezm Empire. A thriving and prosperous kingdom, Khwarezm had the misfortune of crossing the Mongols. After an insult by the Khwarezmian ruler, who executed Mongol envoys, Genghis Khan unleashed his fury. What followed was nothing short of genocide. The Mongols razed cities, massacred entire populations, and destroyed centuries of culture and knowledge. It's estimated that over 1 million people were killed during this campaign alone. Historians argue that Genghis Khan's tactics weren't just about military victory. They were psychological warfare. The sheer terror his armies inspired often caused cities to surrender without a fight. But for those who resisted, the consequences were catastrophic. In the city of Nishapur, after a rebellion killed Genghis Khan's son-in-law, the Mongol response was brutal. Men, women, and children were slaughtered, and even animals were killed. The bodies were piled so high that it said the earth ran red with blood. His secret strategy of espionage. One of Genghis Khan's lesser-known strategies, and perhaps one of his darkest secrets, was his mastery of espionage. Genghis understood that information was as powerful as any army. His spies were embedded in enemy territories long before his armies arrived. They gathered intelligence on everything from military tactics to local politics, ensuring Genghis always had the upper hand. But it wasn't just about military information. Genghis Khan also employed psychological tactics. He spread rumors of his army's invincibility, exaggerated the size of his forces, and created the illusion of an unstoppable force. These strategies sowed fear, causing many cities to surrender without resistance. His ability to manipulate his enemies long before the first sword was drawn was key to his rapid expansion. One particularly chilling aspect of his espionage network was how he dealt with betrayal. Mongol law was clear. Betrayal was met with death. Those suspected of treachery, even among his own ranks, faced brutal punishments, including boiling alive or being executed by having molten silver poured into their ears. The dark side of innovation. Genghis Khan wasn't just a conqueror, he was an innovator. Under his leadership, the Mongols developed revolutionary military tactics. But these innovations often came at a dark cost. The Mongol use of biological warfare is one of the earliest recorded examples in history. During the siege of Kaffa in 1346, the Mongols catapulted the corpses of plague victims over the city walls, spreading the Black Death. This tactic decimated the population and contributed to the spread of the plague across Europe, one of the deadliest pandemics in history. Genghis Khan's forces were also known for their brutal siege tactics. They would flood enemy cities by diverting rivers, burn crops to starve populations, and used prisoners of war as human shields in battle. Genghis valued victory at any cost, and his willingness to use extreme measures ensured that no fortress was safe from the Mongols. A complex legacy. Despite the bloodshed and destruction, Genghis Khan's legacy is far from simple. In Mongolia, he is celebrated as a national hero, a unifier who brought law, trade, and communication to vast regions. The famous Mongol postal system, known as the Yam, connected the farthest reaches of the empire, facilitating trade along the Silk Road and allowing ideas, goods, and technologies to flow between East and West. Genghis Khan also implemented a meritocratic system, promoting individuals based on skill rather than birthright. His legal code, the Yasa, was revolutionary for its time, promoting religious tolerance and reducing tribal conflicts. But for all his contributions to civilization, the dark shadow of his conquests can never be ignored. Entire cultures were wiped from the map, millions perished, and the terror of the Mongol horde lingered for centuries. The duality of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan's story is one of duality. A man who created an empire of unparalleled scope, yet left a trail of destruction in his wake. His dark secrets, from genocidal campaigns to brutal tactics, are as much a part of his legacy as the innovations and advancements he brought to the world. Genghis Khan's rise to power was not just a story of conquest, it was a testament to the complexities of human ambition. In the end, the question remains: was Genghis Khan a visionary leader or a tyrant consumed by darkness?